Okay, next. So first you ask this question ourselves is how does Tesla support the UN SDGs through sustainable cities and responsible production? Tesla wants to help the world to stop fuel, so they want to join or make integration between clean energy, electricity, and solar system. So Tesla, it causes reducing carbon emissions in 2024. It helps families avoid 32 million metrics of tons. Or that means it saves planting 500 million trees. So Tesla causes clean energy ecosystem. That means they combine electric vehicles, solar energy, and battery storage. As you see in the graph, it shows that Tesla has successfully reduced its green carbon emissions. That means they get reduced 35 up to 40%. The baseline was 100%. As you look at 124, it reaches 35 up to 40% carbon reduction. So here we have how building sustainable cities can Tesla improve the quality of sustainable cities and communities. So Tesla causes improve air quality because they make reducing carbon emissions. Also, they try to solve to protect the environment. Also, they try to make the environment greener and quiet and detailed environment. And also here we have that Tesla produce 4.8 million electric vehicles. That means they try to shift to fuels for car using. So also they try to make robotaxi and autopilot to reduce accident. As we know, traffic deaths causes 1.19 million every year. So it's better than a car, a Tesla car, Mindra. Next. Also here we have to Tesla improve urban air quality by reducing pollution from transport. So let's look at clean urban mobility. Tesla created in 2024 that 95% that meaning of that creating charges in the service or are available in anywhere. That means the people can use easily in electric vehicles. Tesla makes owning an electric car is much easier because there is no pollution. Also, accessibility of electric chargers are available. Also, Tesla causes integration with solar, power homes, and workplaces. Minimizing the environmental impact of supply chain. As we know, 77% Tesla battery material supply resettlement zero goals. As we see the picture in the next, the world needs 18 billion for the fuel. Fuel is to extract every year. So, but after Tesla tested, it needs only 3 billion. So it means less pollution, less destruction, and more sustainable management. Also here we have the battery cycling. That means Tesla may produce 5.3 gigawatt hours of batteries. That means 590 metric tons of critical minerals they make reuse. That means they also achieve that 100% waste reduction. That means there is no recycling, they make reusing the materials. Also, they test that 50% they don't need natural gases. Okay, as you see in the graph, it shows us Tesla battery recycling. That means they make the last year 2024 more recycling in batteries.
As we already know before, that ESG is becoming increasingly important globally because customer and government expect companies to care not only about profit but also about people and the planet. First, the environmental pillar focus on how a company affect nature, for example, through pollution, waste management, or carbon emission. And the social pillars measure how the company treats people, including employees, customer, and the community. It looks at labor rights, diversity, and equality. And for the governance pillar is about leadership, whether the company has transparent decision making, fair management, and strong ethics. And together, these three elements show how responsible a company truly is. So for the Tesla performance through ESG, first is the environmental, that Tesla performs very strongly in the environmental pillar. Its electric vehicles are designed to reduce global carbon emissions and dependence on fossil fuels. Tesla also developed solar energy system and Powerwall batteries, which promote renewable energy usage for both individuals and business. Because the Tesla company mission is to accelerate the world's transition to sustainable energy, and it perfectly reflects its environmental goals. However, Tesla still faces criticism about the battery production process, which use rare minerals and generates waste, but overall the environmental benefits are still considered significant. And for the social performance, in the social aspect, Tesla faces more challenges. There have been reports of long working hours and unsafe conditions in some factories, especially in the US and China. And additionally, the company has been criticized for low diversity, especially in management and technical roles, with fewer women and minority employees. Tesla community engagement programs are also limited compared to other big tech companies like Microsoft or Google, which invest more in social responsibility. So while Tesla's technology improves this, its treatment of workers and lack of inclusion need more improvement. For Tesla government's performance, it's weak because the government focus on how a company is managed, and Tesla has faced issues here, mainly due to its CEO, Elon Musk, because his social media behavior and public statements often affect Tesla's stock value and reputation. The company has also been criticized for limited board independence and a lack of transparency in some decisions. Stronger internal controls and clearer accountability will help improve its governance core. A more structured and transparent management system will make Tesla more stable and trustworthy to investors.
Hello, I'm Mary. And based on Tesla 2024 impact report, I will introduce Tesla's ESG indicator operating SDGs. The first one is the environment. Tesla contributes to SDG 7, affordable clean energy, and SDG 13, climate action, specifically each Tesla vehicle is made to avoid updated road measure 52 metric ton of CO2 emission over its lifetime. In addition, Tesla contributes to grid stabilization through solar energy and megapack system. Furthermore, Tesla aims to operate all of its business activity using 100% renewable energy. And next one is social. Tesla contributes to SDGs 3, good health and well-being, and SDGs 5, gender equality, and SDGs 10, leadership inequality. It's also autonomous driving technology helps reduce traffic accident fatality, which number around 1.90 million globally each year. And Tesla also implement programs to enhance workplace safety, promote diversity, and engage employees through inclusive innovation. And finally, governance. Tesla addresses SDG 16, peace, justice, and strong institutions, and SDG 17, partnership towards the goal. The company respects human rights across its global supply chain and maintains transparent safety reporting through ethical oversight and responsible partnership with stakeholders. Tesla ensures sustainable governance practices. And in 2024, Tesla performance strongly in SDG 7, clean energy, and SDG 13, climate action, reflecting its leadership in renewable energy and low carbon innovation. However, the company scored low in SDG 5, gender equality, and SDG 10, reduced inequality, showing a need for improvement in diversity and inclusion. SDGs 3, health and safety, and SDGs 16 and 17, governance and partnership for the indicating steady effort in employee welfare and transparency. Overall, Tesla excels in environmental goals but still face challenges in social areas.
Okay, for the last part is to conclude. So now that we have reviewed Tesla's sustainability to both SDG and ESG, let me highlight the key takeaways from these presentations. So first is Tesla's strength lies in its strong climate and clean energy alignment. Their electric vehicles, solar panels, and energy storage systems help customers avoid nearly 2 million metric tons of CO of carbon dioxide emissions in 2024. And their supercharger network maintained an uptime of 99.95%. These are impressive numbers that show the environmental impact. And the second is the weaknesses. Tesla continues to face challenges with its supply chain, particularly the environmental and social costs of mining lithium and cobalt. Their social performance also lacks limited workforce, deficit reporting, equity issues in electric vehicles affordability, and weak governance transparency. And finally, the opportunities. Tesla can strengthen transparency in ESG reporting, build stronger partnerships with governments and NGOs, and expand recycling and renewable integration worldwide. This will not only improve their image, but also reduce risks in the long run. So one of the critical questions we should ask is how can Tesla improve their social performance? Some possible directions include increasing workforce diversity and making data on gender and race more transparent, and strengthening labor practices in the supply chain, ensuring miners and factory workers have safe and fair working conditions, improving worker well-being with stronger safety standards and training, and finally engaging more directly with communities by making EVs and clean energy solutions more affordable and accessible, especially in underserved regions. So this is where Tesla has the most room to grow compared to its environmental record. And another big question is Tesla's governance a long-term risk? Of course, there are a few concerns based on these sustainability reports, which is leadership concentrations. We all know that Elon Musk's dominant role creates both innovation and instability, and also the board independence. Critics, it was mentioned before that there's a lot of critics about Tesla's board needs stronger checks and balance. And then transparency concern, which is like Tesla must do more to disclose ESG practices, lobbying and supply chain performance. And lastly is regulatory risk, which is lawsuits, labor disputes, and scrutiny from the CEC can threaten Tesla's reputation and investor trust. So while Tesla leads the EV industry environmentally, weak governments could undermine long-term credibility. So to conclude is Tesla is a leader in environmental sustainability, but it is lagging in social and governance performance. So their future success depends on how well they can balance innovations and responsibility. Thank you so much.
Okay, thank you. Any question? Any question?
Oh, yeah.
First off, I want to say that was really great. Thank you so much for that. I wrote down a lot of stuff, but I just I'll just try to boil it down to one question. Because something I noticed was like during the presentation is there's a lot of contradiction. Like at one point, even when the Gary was presenting, there was a part where it said, "Oh, like we have gender equality, and like we're great at that." And then the next slide said, "Oh, no, we're really bad at that." So like, what I was interested in hearing about was like, I know that in the past, like a couple reports that we've heard, it's been very much about like, oh, we're great, like you should choose us. This is the first presentation I've heard where it didn't do that, and so that's good. I like it. But also, does that mean that your resources went outside of their own sustainability report, or was their sustainability report actually including these services?
Thank you for your questions. I think we will discuss a bit more about it. For the time. Actually, we're not just using the sustainability report of Tesla first, and each part of us will be working on with ourselves, so every person can find another source on site. So maybe that's why, like, I think like one part to the other is not really like supported each other, because maybe we use different sources. So that's why. But but overall, we try to give like bigger picture rather than just like explain the sustainability forefront Tesla itself. Yeah, I hope that you. Okay. Is there any questions?
Okay, thank you so much.
Thank you.
Thank you so much. Okay, and Elon Musk is an outstanding entrepreneur, okay, and he built up Tesla, okay, and beside Tesla, he would like to build up an ecosystem, okay, which include electricity vehicles and solar power, household and communities, and energy storage and so on. Okay, so in the future, Tesla will suffer from challenges from mainland China, for example, BRD and so on.
I have a question. When you say that Elon Musk is an outstanding entrepreneur, what do you mean by entrepreneur?
Yeah.
Like, I just wanted to ask, like, when you say that Elon Musk is an outstanding entrepreneur, what is entrepreneur defined as for you?
Even though he is a controversial businessman, right? Okay, and however he provides job opportunities for people. Okay, so and yeah, I think for some of you, he supposed President Trump in the past, and however they have some political conflict. Okay. So and he also suffered from this kind of political issues for his business. Okay. So yeah, he is a controversial businessman. Yeah. So even though he has his dark side, okay, and he also provide positive side in, for example, provide job opportunity. Okay.
So, to be like, in your definition of an outstanding entrepreneur, does that involve fairness and equality in the types of jobs you get at? So then he's not an outstanding entrepreneur because we just saw that he's not getting that equal opportunities to work. Okay, I just wanted to make sure.
So he's a controversial businessman. Okay. So yeah, and right now he suffers from challenge. Okay, especially mainland China. Okay. Yeah. Okay. And the price of electricity vehicles from mainland China is lower than the price of Tesla. Okay. And however, if you look at their future opportunities, they focus on auto driving and robot taxi and so on. Okay, they would like to apply AI technology in their electricity vehicles. Okay, and yeah, they would like to build up its own system, ecosystem. So, however, it's not easy. In the past, Tesla can enjoy higher price premium in the past. It means Tesla can enjoy higher profitability in the past. However, because of intense competitiveness in the world, Okay, we believe it is not easy to enjoy higher price premium right now. Okay, so it is a huge challenge for Tesla right now. Okay. So any question? Okay, let's take break right now. Okay. Okay. So there are several stages for you who like to build up green building construction, design, material selection. Okay, so because green buildings matter, okay, in the future. So let's look at a video, the future of construction with respect to green buildings.
Skyscrapers are rising around the world. The environmental effects of constructing and maintaining these large buildings are being taken more and more into consideration. Over the years, making buildings more environmentally friendly has become one of the top priorities. If you look around, you might find more buildings with trees, roof gardens, solar panels, and approaches to natural light than ever before. The shift cannot be denied. The United States, Singapore, Italy, and Australia are some of the countries leading the way in green building design. Before we go on and show you some truly interesting examples of green construction, make sure to like this video and subscribe to Top Luxury. Let us know in the comments below which of these green buildings you like the most. First off, you need to understand what green building is. It's the practice of increasing the efficiency of how buildings use energy, water, land, and materials. Doing this is aimed at reducing the effect the building has on its environment and slowing down the pace of climate change. However, a green building can be way more complex to construct, making it expensive and time-consuming.
So green buildings are more popular right now. There are several buildings in our university are green. Okay.
Green building is the award-winning One Central Park complex in Sydney, Australia, which is 160.
Okay, speaking of the construction stage, okay, construction waste accounts for 10%, okay, to as much as 30% of municipal waste stream. Okay, the goal is 3R rules in the construction stage: reduce, reuse, and recycle. Okay, and speaking of building design stage, the goal in this stage is to design the building so that it requires less energy, water, and is healthier for inhabitants when it is complete and in use. Okay, speaking of the selection of materials. Okay, the goal is to choose materials, okay, that has low environmental cost and do not contribute to indoor air pollution. Okay, speaking of principles of sustainability in architecture, okay, the first principle is economy of resources, reduce, recycle, and reuse natural resources. The second principle is life cycle design, structure methodology for the building process. Okay, and the next principle is human design, harmony between humans and nature. Okay, especially to protect biodiversity. Okay, so in the pre-building phase, okay, which includes site selection, building design, and building material processes up to but not including installation. Okay, neighborhood and cities can benefit by proper planning, okay, consideration of water demand and the building material during the planning phase. The next phase is building phase. Construction and operation processes reduce the environmental impact of resource consumption. Okay, long-term health effects of the building environment its occupants are considered. Okay, in addition, we need to consider about reduced energy consumption and comfort of building occupants. Okay, are two criteria. Okay, the next phase is post-building phase. Okay, all materials become resources for other buildings or waste to be returned to nature. Okay, so the sustainable design strategies focuses on reducing construction waste, okay, which currently comprises 60% of the solid waste in landfills. Okay, speaking of preservation of nature conditions, an architect should minimize the impact of a building on its local ecosystem. Okay, so if you can consider about the preservation of natural conditions, you can protect local biodiversity. You can enhance biodiversity. Okay, right now. Okay, the next issue is human comfort. A building's design should enhance the work and the home environment. This can improve productivity, reduce stress, and positively affect health and well-being. Okay, speaking of types of green and sustainable buildings, okay, there are several types of green and sustainable buildings. Okay, which include homes, schools, commercial and public buildings, labs, okay, and healthcare facilities. Okay, besides new buildings, okay, remodeling is another issue. Okay, so right now we promote sustainable remodeling. Okay, existing buildings can remodel and install improved mechanical component and update operating systems to make a building green. Okay, for example, we install solar panels on the roof and so on. Okay, speaking of support for green buildings, okay, firstly is LEED. Okay, leadership in energy and environmental design. Okay, it is a green building rating system. Okay, and next is the city programs, create funds and incentives to encourage green buildings. Okay, and next is internet sites over terms of guidance. Okay, is green real or just a marketing fad? It does certification under LEED or any of the other green rating system bring meaningful environmental or economic benefit. Okay, and if we take LEED as an example, it has been widely criticized. Okay, the focus is not on key factors in current climate change crisis. For example, CO2 and energy, and rules only at prescriptive design, not measurable performance. Okay, in addition, LEED is not necessarily valued in marketplace. Okay, and the LEED rating did not statistically improve rents. Okay, while Energy Star rating associated with rents higher by 3.3%. Okay, because of various standards and outcomes, it is important to work within clients to understand just what clients want to achieve in undertaking a green building project. So if you would like to apply green building certification, okay, you have to discuss with your clients. Again, green building legal issues revolve around, for example, identifying parties' values and negotiating agreements that result in wins. Okay, and allocating risk, benefits, burden, and responsibility. Okay, and anticipating and avoiding unnecessary trouble. Okay, speaking of green building standard, firstly, the most famous is the LEED standard. Okay, and it is administered by the U.S. Green Building Council. Okay, and the built environment accounts for approximately 40% of global consumption of raw material. Okay, and 37% of primary U.S. energy consumption. Okay, and 68% of U.S. electricity consumption, and so on. So that's why the promotion of green buildings are so important right now if we would like to reduce carbon emissions. Okay, so you can refer to this video on YouTube by yourself. Okay, this is the introduction of the LEED standard. Okay, speaking of LEED basis, okay, and it is advertised as reducing environmental impact, okay, reducing operation cost, and increasing occupants' comfort and productivity. Okay. So besides, if you look at its rating system, if you there are several dimensions with respect to LEED rating system. Okay, for example, they consider about neighborhood development. Okay, encouraging healthy living by creating compact, workable, vibrant mixed-use neighborhood with good connection to nearby communities. Okay, and so on. Okay, the next dimension is healthcare, in cooperation with the green buildings for healthcare rating system. Okay, and in addition, they also consider about harmonization. Okay, prior systems with wisdom from credit interpretation rulings. Consolidated and aligned. Okay, the credit weighting and regionalization. Okay, and this is its category example. Okay, sustainable sites. Okay, which include site selection, density, okay, and connectivity. Okay, brownfield redevelopment. Alternative transportation, okay, and the site development, and so on. Okay, the next part is water efficiency, okay, which includes water use reduction, water efficient landscaping, innovative wastewater technology. Okay, the next dimension is energy and the atmosphere, okay, which includes energy efficiency, renewable energy, and the building commissioning. Okay, the next dimension is material and resources, which include building reuse, construction waste management, material reuse, recycle material, and so on. Okay, and the next dimension is indoor environmental quality, okay, which includes ventilation, low emission material, controllable systems, and so on. Okay, and this certification is dependent upon numbers of points earned. Okay, and 100 best points plus 6 innovation in design and 4 regional priority points. Okay, so if you can get this certification, okay, the minimum is between 40 to 49 points. Okay, and speaking of silver certification, okay, it means you got the points between 50 to 59 points. Okay, and how about gold certification? It means you got the points between 60 to 79 points. Okay, and it is not easy to obtain platinum certification. Okay, if you can get the points between 80 points and above, okay, you can get platinum certification. Okay, so speaking of the minimum progress requirement for these vaccines, okay, it must comply with environmental laws. In addition, it must be a complete, okay, permanent building or space, okay, and it must use a reasonable site boundary and so on. Okay, and in addition, it must commit to sharing full building energy and water usage data, okay, for a period of at least 5 years. Okay, not just 1 year. Okay, so they will estimate the data for the period of at least 5 years. Okay, the next standard is green globals. Okay, environmental impact assessed on a 1,000 point scale in multiple categories, which include energy, indoor environment, site, water resources, emissions, okay, projects, and environmental measures. Okay, after achieving a threshold of at least 35% of the total number of 1,000 points, new and existing commercial buildings can be certified for their environmental achievement and sustainability, okay, by pursuing green global certification. Okay, however, there are 2 categories of green globals: new construction or continuous improvement of existing buildings. Okay, it means remodeling. Okay, if you would like to remodel your existing buildings and you would like to obtain green building certification, you can apply green global certification. If we look at the new construction, there are 2 stages. Stage 1, review of construction document, okay, working drawing, landscape design, energy analysis, and so on. Stage 2 is on-site walk through, review of additional documentation, and interview of key team members. If you look at continuous improvement of existing buildings, okay, extensive documentation review and an on-site visit with work through an interview for facility managers and chief engineer. Okay, the next green building standard is Energy Star, okay, a program of the U.S. Environmental Protection Agency. Okay, it focuses on energy consumption. Okay, different tools for residential and commercial buildings. Okay, if we look at residential buildings, home energy rating systems index established by the Residential Energy Services Network. You can refer to this hyperlink if you would like to look at their rating system. Okay, this is another rating system for Energy Star commercial buildings. Okay, and National Energy Performance Rating System scale of 1 to 100. Okay, buildings that scores 75 or above on this scale can earn an Energy Star label. Okay, speaking of government requirement and incentives, okay, so as we know, right now we would like to promote green buildings. Okay, so when government procurement, okay, so if you look at our university, okay, if for new buildings, our government encourage our university to apply green building standards. Okay, if we can obtain green building certification. Okay, our government will provide incentive for our university. Okay, and speaking of green building issues, if you take these issues, okay, landlords and tenants may have competing economic interests in green buildings. Okay, landlords want to recover higher cost of green buildings. Okay, and tenants want to benefit from lower operating cost. Okay, and the key is to align respective control with responsibility and cost with benefit. For example, landlord responsible for maintaining green performance of core plants, and tenant responsible for operating green performance of equipment. So we would like to build out win-win solutions for both parties. Okay, and both landlord and the tenant should covenant not to act in manners that jeopardize green certification, grants, and financing. Okay, best to establish expectation and responsibility in green certification standard. Okay, these forms should complement to applicable and standard. Okay, and another green issues design and construction and identifying client goals. If you would like to apply green building standards, you have to discuss with your clients, okay, and contracting to achieve those goals. Liability when goals are not met, okay, ensuring against barriers, okay, and commissioning ongoing maintenance and operations. Okay, however, there are several obstacles with respect to the promotions of green buildings. Okay, 93% of consumers worry about their home's environmental performance. However, only 18% are willing to pay more to reduce the impact. There are higher initial costs for green buildings. Okay, and customers are concerned that they would be sacrificing comfort. Okay, speaking of the conclusion, green building certification present a moving target. Okay, critical to work with clients earlier and continuously to determine goals and objectives. Okay, and focus on objective performance measures and clear allocations of risk and responsibility. Okay, so that's why sometimes insurance companies plays an important role if we would like to promote green buildings. Okay, and green buildings issues are presented in nearly every phase of development. Okay, look for opportunities to improve our practice and practice. Okay, and don't get bogged down, but don't be afraid to innovate. Okay. So, any question about green design and green building? Okay, right now we need to check the attendance of students right now. So every group need to prepare your final report, okay? You can select a topic on your final report. You can select a event, okay, or enterprises, innovation or products, okay, business model, okay, and so on, which are related to sustainability or green management